Hi creatives, greetings from my end, Dimma here, and on today's tutorial I'll be sharing with you how to make this beautiful butterfly dress that you can see on the screen. On the left is my inspiration and on the right is my work. Okay, so if this sounds like what you've been interested in knowing how it was done, you will have to stick around till the end. Do not miss any parts of this short video so that you will get everything I did to achieve this beautiful dress. The cutting and the sewing tutorial is here. So here I have my back pattern, a tussle foundation already drafted, and I have already folded my fabric. You can see the salvage of the fabric is an Ankara fabric. I folded like this and again like this. Okay, I folded it twice. I hope you understand. Folded along the whole length of the Ankara fabric and then folded into two to get the length of my butterfly dress, and I want to cut the front and back at once. Here I am measuring the extension of the shoulder, which will be the width of the butterfly. Here I measured 15 inches. If you want it to be smaller, you can take like 13 or 12 inches. It just depends on what you want. Okay, and if you watch, I am not taking the slope. I came up by about ½ inch on that shoulder tip and then I took it straight up. Like the slant is not slanting so much like the regular shoulder slope. So that is what I have there, and I'm drawing the neckline. I'm drawing the back neckline because I will cut with the back neckline, and then after that I am going to separate the two and trim one, and separate the two and then trim one to the front neckline. I hope you understand. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is to just take a curve to the hem of the dress. You know, this is a tussle foundation that ended at the hip. It didn't get to the length, so I'll be taking it to the length of the gown. Where the fabric ends, where the hem is where the length of the gown is, of course with the hemming allowance. Here I'm measuring the hip just to serve as a guide when I'll be shaping this dress. Okay, so this is what I have. When I'm shaping it, I'll be taking out about 1½ inches from that hem and get a sort of pencil shape from the hip. I hope you understand. So right here, I have gone ahead to draw everything I want to draw, and I'll be cutting it out using ½ inch seam allowance. Watch closely. I'm cutting it as a back pattern because this is back pattern. Even the tussle foundation is back tussle foundation, but without back tightening. I hope you understand. So that is what I use to cut out this. I will be cutting out this side also. I used 15 here, I think, at the shoulder extension, but I finally reduced it because I felt it was too wide. So I reduced it further before I, finished up this part of the dress. So this is what I have. After cutting it out, I'll be separating this. I will be separating this. I just notched there to know the middle of the neck. So right here, I'm going to just add the ease to the dress. The ease, because this is not a dress that have zip or anything. It will be a dress that will be worn just straight. So I'm adding about 1 inch ease to it so that it will be easy to wear. You can make it 3/4 to 3/4 inch is fine also. Now I'll be connecting my landmarks to the hip, and then from that hip I'll be connecting to the hem. When I'll be sewing this dress from this hip, I will take like 1½ inches off from the hem and just take my seam to that so that it will give me a pencil shape, because that is what we have in the picture, a pencil like shape. Here I'm trying to draw the same thing behind. I'm just trying to get the same marking I have here behind so that it will be easy for me to just stitch on when I am ready to close up the butterfly dress. Here, that is what I'm drawing here. Remember, on the hem, you are going to take out 1.5 inches. Yeah, 1.5 inches. Or if you don't want it to be too close, like 2 pence, you can just take 1 inch from the hem of the dress and curve it from your hip. Okay, here I'm drawing the front neckline, as you can see, and I'm dropping my pattern. If you're interested in knowing how I made that torso foundation, I'll be linking it in the description box so that you can view how a torso foundation is made. I had to cut off that part so that this video will not be too long. So here I'm cutting out the neck of the dress, the front neck actually, and I just notched the middle of the neck. The next thing I'll be doing will be to cut the facing. So here I have the front pattern below and then the back one on top of it. The next thing will be to cut the facing of this dress, and that is what I'm using this fabric for. I'll be folding it into two, like on fold, I will be cutting the facing. Here is the fabric piece that is remaining from the dress I just cut, and I'll be using it for my facing. I kept one aside and I'll be cutting the back facing first. Here you can see how I placed the back neckline on this fabric and I am cutting it out. Follow just the way I did to cut yours out. Then you will be measuring here about 3 inches all through the facing. Then you connect those points, cut it out, and that is the facing for the back. That will be the facing for the back. Then I'll be doing the same thing for the front. I've folded my fabric and I'll be placing the front pattern on it. I'll also go ahead and cut it out. If you are not comfortable cutting it without pinning, go ahead to pin your pattern before you cut it out. After cutting out, I'll be measuring 3 inches just as I did in front, all round. And that is it. I'll connect these points and also cut it out. And this is my front neckline facing. The next thing I'm going to do is to use an interfacing on these facings. I'll be making it stronger or to have a little bit of structure than what I have here by applying interfacing. And this is the interfacing I'll be using. That is hairstay. I'll be applying it on these facings. Here I have applied it and I will go ahead to stitch the dress, to sew the dress. Here is the front pattern and I'll be placing the facing like so. Front, right side facing each other. I've sewn it together and I'm notching. Ensure that you notch yours like this and also top stitch. That is what I'm going to do now. I will stitch it together, notch, and then top stitch. You can see what I have there. After the top stitch, you will go ahead and iron so that everything will lay flat and smooth for you. So here I've stitched both the front and the back facing, and this is what I have. I'll go ahead and iron and also join it further on the shoulder. Watch how I'm going to join it. I'll put the front pattern between like that and turn over the back facing so that the back facing, the front pattern will be between the back facing and the back pattern. So that is how to turn that shoulder line, and this is what we have. And here I will be using hemming gum to keep down my facing. I'll be applying hemming gum. Sorry I did not show you what hemming gum is, but I believe you know what it is. I'll be putting it under my facing and iron it down to hold it in place. Here I will weave all through my gown and also stitch it down. That is what I did. I've already reduced the butterfly a bit, which is very important because I don't want it. I felt the 15 I took from the shoulder tip was too much then, so I reduced it to about 13 and, you know, took it down to the hem.
Here I'm about stitching these sides. I'm going to stitch down the marking. I'm going to follow the chalk line, but as I get to the hip, I will curve my hand by about 1.5 inches on the hem and just curve it that way and take it to the hem so that we'll get the perfect pencil shape just as in the picture we are imitating. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do here. I am going to stitch it down and then, yes, so I've gone ahead to stitch this completely, and this is what I have. I'm going to remove those papers and iron my facing down very well with my hemming gum. If you like, you can still tack it down with your needle and thread. Here I'm cutting the excess seam that could be there, and here is what I have on the mannequin after everything. I hope you like this. Do your own like this and you will definitely get the same result. Thanks for always stopping by to support my brand. I love you all, and of course I will see you in my next one. Bye.